Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Spirit Rescue Talk. I am Amy Major, and of course, I have my co host Cynthia Maroon here with me. You'll notice that Jordan Start is missing today. We do miss her a lot, but she's actually at a paranormal conference tonight. How dare she go without us? But she's going and she's having a lot of fun. In her stead, we have a wonderful, wonderful guest that I've actually known for many years, Kerrie Erwin. She's actually an Australian medium and spirit rescue medium, which I absolutely love. And that's how we kind of connected years ago, was through spirit rescue. She is a published author of many books, also a tarot card deck. She does a lot of stage shows and a lot of messages from the spirit world. She has a most recent book called Spirit Rescue Out. And I heard that she just won an award for her book, A Medium Story from New York. So we can't just say enough about her. She's absolutely wonderful. Anyone that knows her work knows how wonderful and how gifted she is. So, of course, we had to have her on the show during spooky season. So I just want to introduce Kerrie and have her tell us a little bit about herself. Hi, Kerrie. How you doing?
Hey, from down under in Sydney, Australia.
I keep saying I'm going to head down there one day because Spirit Rescue is actually really popular in
Uh,
Australia.
yes, it is, but
Oh,
there's not a lot of us here, I have to say, or there's not a lot of spirit rescue people in the world because not
yeah.
everyone's got the spirit team, Amy.
We've discussed before, but we should absolutely discuss it again on the show as far as Spirit Rescue and the teams and the chops that you need to get the work done. But I'd love if you can just give everyone a little bit of a background on your story and how you got to where you are.
Well, I was born psychic. I never asked for it, and I never got any help. So I used to get attacked all night in my bed until Mum let me keep the light on when I was about 7 or 8. They used to come in and jump on my head, pull me out of bed. And they were ghosts, the ghosts we work with. And then I used to sort of see other spirits like my grandmother and, people, spirits that have crossed over. There's two different types. So I sort of got the whole thing without knowing what was going on. So luckily for me, when I was 17, I went to the spiritualist church and, yeah, found out I was normal.
That's great.
It
I
was
love that.
instead of the local psychiatric hospital, went to the spiritualist church, and I
Yeah,
got all my training, and I've worked for a lot of mediums, and in the end, you just end up working with your spirit team. They
right.
sort of take over from your teachers.
Mm, very much so. They are some of the best teachers, I find.
Yeah, your loyal
Yeah,
guides, your loyal,
really
loving
good.
guides.
So, how did
Yeah.
you know that the spirits that are waking you up were ghosts and not spirits in the light? What made you feel like they were different?
I didn't know what it was. I didn't find out till I went to the church and the medium explained to me that I was working with two different types of spirits, earthbound and loved ones that have passed. I didn't know what the hell was going on. I was just absolutely thought I was scared. It was a horrible. I've had lots of experience when I even look. I know you mightn't be into the subject, but there was even I saw spirit spaceships and everything. When I was younger, because
Mm-hmm.
we lived in a remote area on the south coast. So my
Oh,
sister and I swear there was a spaceship out the window. Like, I've had lots of encounters with all sorts of dimensional beings.
right.
So it's
Wow.
interesting, isn't it?
The spiritualist church is really great. I started in the spiritualist churches as well about 23 years ago in the
Right.
spiritualist churches. But my spiritualist churches weren't really open to talking about earthbound spirits. How was your church?
Well, lucky for me, I had a minister from England. She was English mediums. Oh my God, they're pretty powerful. And she took me, I think Spirit set it up. And she told me who I was, what I could do, and I had the two gifts, and because of the spirit team, so I was lucky. So she sort of took me under her wing, and I just accepted. Oh, that's what it is, and I never really had any problems. I've done a lot of work in spiritualist churches, but I don't do it anymore. I just work by myself. I cut them off a long time ago because not everyone is who they say they are.
Mm-hmm.
So I really believe your experiences come from your spirit guides that give you these experiences, like that beautiful medium, Mrs. Starr, who, oh, yes, Kerrie, you can do this and that and blah, blah, blah. It was thanks. Just went with it.
You mean there was no restriction at all? She just let you be who you are.
Yeah,
Which is
because I was
nice.
only a kid. I was 17, 16 going on 17. I just got my
Wow.
driver's license. And I stayed with her, and then I went overseas to live when I was 20 because I was a nurse. I went to work in Scandinavia, and I sort of tried to cut it off, but of course it doesn't happen. I met more people, and I did training, and I've trained with all sorts of people over the world. Like I'm an older medium now, so it's been a long journey. But these
Mm,
days, and for a very long time, it's just been my spirit guides that give me all the information.
right. Okay,
So I
so
don't care
question.
what they think, other people.
I've had a lot of people ask me, and I know how I do it because I've been talking to my guides since I was 2. How can you tell that they're your guides and not just spirit wanting to whisper in your ear and tell you something?
Because the difference is they come through with love and they don't tell you what to do.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Exactly.
Yep.
So if
There's a lot.
someone said, do this, do that, do this, they're obviously a dark spirit. But if it's loving
Right.
and beautiful, they only support you. Our guides and also angels don't tell you what to do.
No,
It's just
they
a good
can't.
feeling of I'm looked after and protected.
Right.
You've just
Right.
just got to trust that.
And I think that's what a lot of people need to recognize is when you're working with spirit, you have to have a lot of discernment. But unfortunately, you can't find that discernment until you had a weird scenario to put you in a bad place to go, I'm not going to do that again. And you learn
Mm.
from those experiences, which we all did. And Kerrie, you and I learned through the years of what to trust and what not to trust. But the whole idea of saying, okay, our guides can't ever tell us what to do. They can advise us, they can give us suggestions, but they'll ultimately look at us and go, well, what do you think? This is
The
your
other
journey.
thing, the other thing I always say to people that really want to do mediumship, they should really learn how to do trance mediumship, because that way you have the guides show themselves and you get a stronger link.
Mm, you can. It's
Trance
like,
medium trance mediumship's very important in my books, and it takes you to a whole different level, and then you can set up your seances and all that sort of thing.
what kind of trance do you do? Because I only do light trance, I don't do the deep trance. Because
Well,
I'm,
I started doing the deep trance and it freaked me out because I hate losing
yeah,
control of what happened. What happened? So I said
right,
to my guides, listen, if you want me to do trance, I'm not going down there again deep. No thanks. And so they switched it. I told them. It scared the hell out of me going, like I became unconscious. I thought, no, I'm not doing that.
right.
I mean, say
Yeah,
if
I'm
you go to
just
the toilet or something, it was scary.
I'm
So I
just
just said,
thinking
no, I'm not doing that. I tell them what I can do and what I'm not going to do.
I'm just thinking of the people watching that might not know what trance mediumship is. Do you want to give like a brief idea of what that looks like?
Trance mediumship is actually taught, if you get a good teacher, and usually it's through the spiritualist churches, you get a good medium who does that. It's going into like a deeper meditations. I can only describe it as like a deep sort of meditation. And then when you do that, you actually can feel your guides sort of overshadowing your body. And if you sit in the group watching, you can actually see your students. You'll see like a figuration on their faces, like of
mhm,
another person, which is actually their guide or the person they're working with.
right.
And they give you all the information. So, because I was doing trance, at a very early age, because this medium I work with, she just threw me in the deep end. I just went with it because I
Mm-hmm.
felt protected. And I was able to know who my guides are, what they were doing for me, and I can name all my guides, and they showed me the gifts, what they were bringing in, and they're all working from the light.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing you have to ask when you're working with any type of spirit. You say, "Do you come from the light?" And if they can't answer that, or you tell them to go into the light, that's how you sort of sort it out.
You just set a boundary.
Absolutely. So
Yeah.
I always ask, who am I talking to? Are you from the light? If they can't answer or gibbly goo, I say, goodbye, go to the light. You keep asking, are you from the light? Do you come from, for me, it's Jesus. Do you come from the name of Jesus? It's sort of like a safety net. So you're not talking to some dark spirit that's trying to play games with you. And
Right.
there's a lot in the astral. as we know.
Mhm.
Yes, very much. They're all in the astral, just different layers and levels in the astral plane. When you started getting involved in rescue mediumship, war spirit rescue, um, did you really want to do this, or were you
No,
reluctant as I was?
no, I didn't want to do it because I'm not Buffy the Slayer. You know, I felt like I was Buffy the Slayer. I'm a
Yeah.
girly girl. I've got the nails, the hair, the lashes. Next thing I'm climbing in people's roofs, and I was terrified. And then I used to call on the Archangel Michael to help me.
Mm-hmm.
And then I did it with a few people, but I realised they were useless. So I ended up just doing it by myself, and nothing scares me because I've got my spirit team and the Archangel Michael, so I'm safe.
You are safe, absolutely. But did they ever throw you into like, oh, I would call it training scenario where you felt that you weren't safe?
Yes, in my early days, I got thrown across a room. I got picked up and physically thrown across a room, and
Mm,
that scared me. And then another time, I was doing a house, and a guy hung himself out the back, and I had this ridiculous necklace on with a cross, you know, thinking it was safe, like a prop. And then suddenly, I'm calling the guy out because he hung himself at the back of the house where these women lived, and suddenly my necklace got ripped off my neck and the bees went everywhere, and they started screaming and ran out of the house. But that
mm,
made me angry. I thought, you're not going to
right.
do that. You just wrecked my necklace. So you're going into the light whether you like it or not. You know, I
Oh,
became sort of angry. I wasn't scared then. And that sort of changed it for me. I realised I'm in charge, not them, because they're lost, lonely, frightened, scared. And we're there actually to help them.
We are very much so. And this field is growing quite a bit. Do you have any like recommendations for the newly developed rescue mediums? I know Cynthia's been getting involved with it over the last few years. What type of suggestions or helpful hints would you give some newly developed rescuers?
All I can say is that if you've got the right spirit team and you feel 100% confident, you're on your way. So you just got to trust in the process. And like I said, I used props in the beginning, like a cross around my neck or, you know, because I was scared. And also another thing I'm going to say, take notice of what's around you in nature. Because when I first started doing rescue, I used to be followed by crows.
Mm, right.
mhm.
I don't know whether you've experienced it. It was weird. Like,
Uh,
you know, they'd be sitting on my car. It's like, oh my God, what's going on? Like little things,
right.
ridiculous scenarios.
I would get the owls.
Yeah, some
Owls.
people you might get the owls, but it's
All around.
interesting how the nature's watching what's going on too.
Very much.
100%. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But Cynthia, you said you had a few questions for Kerrie as well regarding rescue mediumship. I don't want to ask all the questions here, but I know that you've been doing rescue with me with the program as well, and helping a lot of spirits that are in crisis as well.
Mhm.
Kerrie, do you have any suggestions for Cynthia who may deal with some heavier spirits or people that may not have been in the right frame of mind when you're trying to communicate with
Yeah,
them?
well, the main thing when you're doing spirit rescue, you know what you want to work with and what you don't want to work with. Like I don't work with demonic energies. I've had
Mm,
dark spirits, but you know, like shadow people that hide under beds and try and, you know, torment the person or children. So I know what I can work with. So I know my boundaries. I don't go into the demonic stuff.
Mhm.
So I know my boundaries. Also, just be confident and understand we're working with spirit. So it's all about protection, using your protection and knowing your spirit team are there, and you'll be fine. You know, it's actually the most amazing experience when you change people's lives and rescue these trapped spirits, you know, from the astral. It's an amazing experience.
mm,
And the thing I love is when you actually see, you know, once they go in the portal of light, you can actually see the dots, the little dotties. You can
Mhm.
see that physically, the little dots, like it's like a light coming in. It's you get a feeling of joy. That's
mm.
how it affects me. I just love the whole thing. It's wonderful. It's a wonderful experience, and it's a miracle, really, isn't it?
No wonder you've been dedicated to it for so long. And you also got into writing about your experiences.
Yeah, I really believe everything's sort of organised for you because when I finished nursing, I've always been a writer. So I went to a performing arts school for 4 years and I worked as an actor. And I was writing all these scripts for TV and films and stuff. And to me, it was like deadly theatre. So I really realised now spirit was just setting it up for me so I could write books and I could help people.
Mm,
That was the bigger picture. It wasn't about, you know, working with deadly theatre or boring plays and ego, stuff. It
mhm.
was more about they were spiritually preparing me to write the books to help everyone, get it out there. I'm okay, you're okay. That's what it was about for me.
Mm.
Mm.
Yep, I had the same thing in drama classes, and I was in musicals, and I took a lot of speech classes. And I'm like, I thought that I was going to get involved in acting as a kid
Yeah,
because I was always on a
yeah.
stage. And
Mm.
Spirit's like, you'll do something similar
Yeah, I had
until
the
I'm
same.
actually
Well, yeah, I
doing
had the
this.
same thing. Like I played in bands as well, like heavy metal bands, and I've done the
Yeah,
whole thing. And
I've done that too.
I always, at one stage, I thought I was going to be a rock star. Then I thought I was going to be this famous actress, except Nicole grabbed Tom Cruise and, it was all over, you know. And so then I realized, oh, I'm just supposed to
Come
be a
on.
medium and a spirit rescue person. Okay. You just accepted your fate, didn't you?
Well, Kerrie, you'll be jealous because I'm married a Tom Cruise lookalike. So,
Oh, really? Well,
mhm.
but has he got the connections, Amy?
Probably not, but
Yeah.
he's but everywhere he goes, everyone's like, I thought he was Tom Cruise. I'm like, don't fluff his ego, like everywhere he goes. So I'll
Yeah.
send you pictures just so you can see. But it's I know what that's like about being on the stage and feeling like you're being trained for one thing, but I think
Mm,
Spirit uses all of these different tools and all these different elements to help us mold into the person we're supposed to be, especially if we're supposed to be teachers or mentors or presenters
yes.
in some way. It
100%.
really helps us build up that confidence.
Yeah.
And the other thing I have to say too is, when you work for spirit and you dedicate your life to spirit, they put a roof over your head, they put food on the table, and they put love in your heart. So I'm very well looked after in that department.
Mm, very much so. I think that, with all the experiences you've had, can you tell our viewers any like real interesting story that you just remember from all the years experience you've had? Is anything that kind of sets
Well,
apart from all the others?
just recently I was talking about energy centers in the world,
Mm-hmm.
vortexes. And every time, like I've been to Sedona, because we're energy workers, and I loved I had they shift your consciousness when you go into these centers in the world. So I had
Mm-hmm.
major shifts when I was in America at Sedona, and then I went to Uluru. I've actually I had about 350 people at Uluru. I worked for a group of people, and I've done shows up there. And the last time I went up there, I went with my husband on a holiday, and I thought, oh, this will be really cool. Nothing else could happen to me. I won't have another shift. But I did. I went there and I could just feel I was confused, and I went through I got a cold, and all these things happened. In dreams, I couldn't sleep. Because the energy is so high in these energy vortex places. I couldn't sleep. And, the people around me, all these horrible experiences, people around me were weird. And, it was strange. And when I came back, I was talking to a client. I do all my spirit rescue remotely now. I don't go to their houses anymore.
Mm,
And because there's too many people, so I just do it over the phone.
right.
I do spirit rescue over the phone. So I thought you had to be on the phone. And then I was talking to this lady. She goes, but I'm not in the home. I'm at work. And I said, oh, well, I don't have time. She said, well, can we do it now? And I thought, can we do it now? I can't do that. And suddenly Spirit said, do it through her eyes.
Yeah.
So I said to the woman, close your eyes. And I want you now to go to your house. And I want you to stand at the front door. So she did that. And then she described, she went to a house, she stood at the front door. And through her eyes, I was able to remote view her house and remove the spirits through her eyes. And I
Beautiful.
thought, what? Wow, this is amazing. Like it's taking it to another level.
Right.
Wow.
And,
Right.
because we don't, it's just working on a different timeline, isn't it? So that was really successful. So you can do that. Like you can just get the person to just visualize. and then get them to go through their house. You can also do it for yourself too.
Mm.
It teaches you about timelines as well, like looking into the future as well, like
Right.
closing your eyes and seeing how you're going to go for a project. You can close your eyes and take yourself 3 months into the future and just visualize, how do you feel? What do you see? Do you feel good about yourself? Is this project good? You can take it to 6 months. It's all about working with timelines and putting it in the work we do. It's very easy technique. You just do it.
You just
And
do it
how
when you
long
see
ago did,
sorry, what was that?
and how long ago did this happen, Kerrie?
I had that realization probably about 8 months ago when I was in Uluru this year in Australia. I went up to, Ayers Rock, Uluru. We went on a holiday. It was just sort of just with these people, like I didn't even know the people. It was, you go to a
Yeah.
place and it's different strange people. It's just my husband and I, because we love the end. But I had this every time I go to Vortexes, I have some sort of shift. So that's the gift I got. And it was quite
Mm.
interesting. And it just made me feel excited that, there's so many things for us to learn. And once you do it, it's just, what's the next one? Like you said before, Amy, it's
Mm-hmm.
fabulous. You never stop learning with this stuff.
Never
None of
stop.
us are experts. None
Yep.
of us are experts because they're constantly teaching you stuff.
And that's where I was going with that, is that you've been doing this for a long time, and I love learning and just being a forever student. And so even after your very long career in this field, like, you're still learning. And I'm curious to know, like, is there something that you are seeking to develop into for yourself personally still?
Mm.
Not really. It's just about doing the work, and the intention is helping as many people as possible on the planet. That's all.
Yeah.
We're just helping spirit. We're really nobodies. We're just people that are out. We're light workers. We're here to help the humanity. It's just your role. It's what you're meant to do. It's what you're meant to be. You just surrender to that, and all the doors open. As I said, it all goes back. They'll look after you. They'll give you a good partner, food on the table, a roof on your head, and security and love. It's just a joy.
Mm.
Some of us have had it a little bit harder than that, but I think that not only are we light workers, but we have to deal with our own karma, our own issues, our own wounding, which comes out a lot in the work as well.
Well, the biggest lesson for me is, because I've done a lot of stage shows, I do club shows. I always have these other mediums. Oh, can I work with you? And once I let them in, they rip you off, they backstab you in the back. And Spirit said, listen, if you want us to help you, stop getting other people involved. You need to do it by yourself. So I finally got it, and I won't tell you how old I am.
And so, what about this book? I want to hear about this medium story and the award. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, this is after I finished. I was working with Llewellyn for the last one. It was called Spirit Rescue, right? That's like a Bible for me, for people. I send it to people like, this is your Bible. This is what it explains everything. So after I went to Llewellyn, I wrote another book, and it's just it's a how to do book, different energies. Also, it talks about everything I do. It's sort of like a teaching book, and it was entered in a competition in New York City, about for writing, and the woman I was working with, she said, you need to enter this book. It's pretty good. So I won the Spiritual Book Award, and I thought, great, I'm going to sell so many books now. Oh my God. And then, I think I made $7, by the time Amazon takes out all the money, right? And I thought, well, it's not about money, Kerrie. It's really about getting the information out there. But I'm rewarded in other ways. So
Yeah.
I might have made about $20, but still, and the other thing, I won an award. Really, people read my stuff. It's sort of, it was a good feeling. But all the work I do, it's an accumulation of what I do and what I've done. So the next book is coming out next year, and it's at the editors, but I'm going to self-publish again like I did with this. I'm not going through any publishing houses. I did get a deal in the States, not saying any names, and by the time I read through all their rules, there's 68 pages of rules, I thought, cuckoo, I don't want to do that.
It's
So
not
I'll pay for it
easy.
myself. And then
Yeah.
I won some money, so the book was paid for. So it's sort of, I thought, oh my God, this is weird. I'm getting it self-published, but I won some money, was, you know, and it paid for the book that I paid that I'm getting edited at the
That's
moment. It's
how it
funny, isn't
happens.
it?
The synchronicities
Yeah.
lines it up for you just right. So you don't have
So,
to
you know,
worry.
there's nothing wrong with self-publishing either. And, you know, I sell a lot of my material at my shows. So I make money
Mm.
there, or I often, you know, with the Spirit Rescue, I'll send it out to clients. Oh, here you go, take this, I'll put in the post and help them because they've just had the most weirdest and strangest experience of their life.
Right.
Mhm.
And I know you talked a lot about feeling that competition with other mediums on the stage doing psychic mediumship, which
Yeah.
unfortunately we have a lot of that competition. And I wish we weren't like that. I wish we worked more as a community. But I feel in rescue mediumship, I think we work more in community and we are more teammates than in other forms of mediumship. What do you think?
Well, to be honest, I don't know anybody else here in Australia to work with, so I just do it by myself. I'm sort of like the lone wolf. I do everything by myself with the guides. I
Mhm.
don't mix with a lot of mediums anymore because I've been burnt too many times.
Mm.
And I've got to say, it's the same as rock and roll, the same as acting, it's the same as politics or anything you get involved with. It's not all love and light, and even in our
Yeah.
world. So you just
Well,
got to move
I'm
away and work with people on your vibration that are there to support you and love you. It's a constant lesson for me.
yeah. Well, I'm always going to be pushing people into communities because I find that working together amplifies the energy, seeing things from different perspectives. And I try to act like referee sometimes and trying to keep a lot of egos at bay and just recognize
Mm,
we're all trying to do this together. You know, we all have the same goal. You know, it doesn't have to be competitive with each other, and you know it.
no,
And that's why we find a lot of these communities online because, like you said, you're in a remote area, you can't necessarily find someone right there, but you can easily link into energy. I link into energy all over the world just through a picture or somebody's
mm,
name, and we can all link in that way. We'd all help each other. Just that people make it big business, unfortunately, and I don't think helping spirits transition was supposed to be big business. I think it was supposed to be more healing and more
exactly,
guided
yes. Mm. Well,
in
that's
that
that's
way.
right because you know you get money in other ways. Like I've got my own business with clients, and I'm booked out all the time. So you know it comes back to you. But my way of working in communities in the world now is through the writing.
Mhm.
Good. We need more
That's all.
writers.
So yes, you know, it's about getting that information out there that I'm okay, you're okay, because, you know, if you're, as a child like me, if you're thrown in the deep end with parents that were so straight and thought you were a liar, you know, it's
Mm.
scary.
Yeah.
I think we get that a lot here, at least in the States. We get a lot of that conflict and resistance with spirit rescue. There's so many mediums and so many people in general that say that earthbound spirits don't actually exist. What would be
Yes,
your rebuttal with that?
I just move away from those people. I've had people throw that at me. Oh, that's rubbish. There's nothing there. But hello, it's a teacup just floated through the air. What's that? You know?
Yeah.
I've had, yeah, you know, like it's because you know what it is with these mediums who say that they haven't got the team and they can't do it.
Right.
You know,
I
and they'll
think there's
see
also a lot of fear with it
it's
as
their
well.
ego. I think it's their ego because you know I'm the best medium in the world. You know, but you can't do spirit rescue because you haven't got the team. Didn't you see the cup float past? What do you think that was? That was a poltergeist. Oh no, it wasn't. It was Uncle Freddie come to this. I don't think so. You know, it's you just move away. It doesn't interest me anymore. I just think it's all about I'm okay, you're okay. Get lost, leave me alone. You know, really, it's ridiculous. It's I don't know why I don't mix with people that badmouth other people or are
Right.
unsupportive or unloving. It's about boundaries.
Yeah.
And as I said before, in our world, like all the other societies, not everyone is who they say they are or love and light. So you really need to trust yourself and your intuition and your knowing and just do the best you can and be very loving and kind to everyone.
Mhm.
Well, I think for the majority, most people that get involved in mediumship or spiritual development really come with genuine sincerity in the beginning. I really think they do. They really want to help. But the moment money starts getting involved,
Oh yeah,
things
yeah.
change
I've
quite
seen
a
that.
bit.
Like I know a few people myself in my world, and they charge so much money for it. And why can't they just say, and the person's been going there for like 8 years or something, they still can't get it? You know, sometimes it's, look, I think you're more of a psychic than you are a medium, okay? They don't do that, but they keep pulling them along because they're making a lot of money out of them. It's taking advantage of people. But karmically, they'll pay for that later on of taking advantage of people.
Mm. And I don't think
Like,
everybody needs to be a medium. I think being just a
no,
psychic is good enough. I mean,
or
it's
a healer.
valuable.
You know, like I've had students and I said, look, you're a really good healer and you're not a bad psychic, but when it comes to mediumship, it's not, all you talk about is blue, yellow, orange or something. You're not actually, I don't even know who you're talking to. They
Mm,
got really angry and they left, but they, you know, it's proof in the pudding. People will know if you're authentic. Your clients will know if you're authentic. People aren't stupid.
right.
You know, I think just because you have gifts, it doesn't change the fact that you can also have wounding that gets in the way of the work that you do. And, you know, some people, they have gifts and they have abilities, and to admit when they're not being successful can be challenging to their own wounding at times, right? So
Mm,
sometimes they're in a denial of being able to accept their own limitations for fear of not being believed or not like getting the referrals, or you know, being really human. And I know in working with Amy, she's always very candid in that way and gives people permission to just not be perfect and to make mistakes. And that's part of the journey. And it doesn't mean you don't have skills and abilities just because you might be growing in those abilities.
mm.
You know what I mean?
That's true. That's true. But not everyone's a medium. Like,
Yeah.
for example, I started off being a nurse. I didn't want to work with dead people or spirits or anything. I thought I'd
Mhm.
be a healer. I spent a fortune on doing all these healing courses and I just couldn't do it. I wasn't good enough. I wasn't seeing results. And I'm a person, I have to see results. Otherwise, I'm wasting my time. And I was disappointed. And okay, I will be a medium then. I'll do that. You know, like I just went with the gifts I had, and then all the doors opened. It's like being, oh, I just want to be an actor, and all the doors close in your face, especially when you get sent all the dog commercials, you know, for food, dog food,
Mhm.
or somebody's mother or older auntie or whatever. So
Mhm.
the door's closed. So you just go for the door that you're good at. The doors will open for you and the clients will come. But if you're not ethical and you're giving people false information, like, no, your mother's not here. But we were really close. Why isn't my mother? Nah, not getting her. Nah, she's not there. She's probably busy and she's got the shits with you because, you know, you weren't very not. I said, you know, those people make me angry
Mm.
Because we know
Right.
because they
spirits always
can't
do
get
that
the
way.
connection. Yes, of course the mother's standing there. She's desperate to get a message across, but because the medium can't get it, you know, they should pass it on to someone who can do that work.
Right.
Mhm.
And I only do psychic mediumship every now and then because I know my strength is in rescue mediumship, and I try to I get people to, but people keep forcing me back into psychic mediumship. Do it, do it. I'm like, I can do it. It's not my favorite thing to do because I find that,
Yeah.
you know, from the first moment of being able to see a wounded soul transition into light and seeing the other side and how grateful they were and just the loving embrace and how special that moment was. You can't put that into words, nor can you relate it or compare it to anything else in the
Mm,
spiritual communities. And that I was like hooked, and I knew that was going to be my passion. And I think follow your passion, follow what you're really good at, follow what's meant for you, even though you can do other things. You don't have to be forced to or try to be something that you're not. Just do what you're naturally good at. And
that's
so,
right.
unfortunately,
It's
my role doesn't make tons of money, and
no,
right,
but
you can't
you're
charge a spirit for crossing them over,
Amy, we all have different roles, but don't forget you've got a gorgeous husband, so that's your
Oh,
gift.
there you
That's your
go.
gift.
That's the
You know,
gift.
when you've got that sexy Tom Cruise next to you, you're doing okay.
Oh boy, yeah, he is, and it's like whenever we go out, they're like, "Oh my God, is that Tom Cruise?" I'm like, it's not. His name's Chris. Go away.
Mm. Well, that's beautiful to know you've met your soulmate, and that's all part of the spiritual rewards for what you're doing.
Right.
But I kind of see my work is because I do spirit rescue. I do a lot of it. I do a lot of mediumship. I do a lot of. I was reading tarots when I was 17, so it's all easy for me. It's just I don't even think about it. I just switch into it, and I find it. I love it because I'm always learning new things. But as I said, I always wanted to be this great healer, but I was useless and hopeless. And I thought, oh, because I wasn't seeing results. So that's what I let go, and I let my guide. I have a spiritual healing guy called Dr. Lee. He's Chinese. And I used to hear him talking in my voice, giving me instructions. So I'd asked him to step back, and I've asked the spirit rescue team to come in and the mediumship and only the guides I want to work with. So I had to ask Dr. Lee to leave. So
Mm.
yeah, I still feel him trying to sneak in sometimes, but so and I might and often I'll get medical things with people. I can see them. You see the anatomy and the physiology of the person or the blueprint. I can see him helping with that. But other than that, he has stepped back where I'm doing other things. So it's all part of the journey.
It is.
You know,
It is. It is.
I wanted to ask you a question. Like, you've been doing this for a long time, and because you've been doing it for a long time and you have this strength in mediumship, in terms of dealing with beings outside of Earthbound,
Hmm.
have you noticed a change in terms of the type of other beings that you might encounter over the
Are you
years?
were you talking about the ETs?
Well, it could be, or other types of dimensional or interdimensional beings that
I've
you've
had
come
a
up
lot of I've had a lot of connections with the fairies, the earth spirits.
with.
But they I wasn't really interested in that because I used to teach it. I used to make flower essences. I'd go out in the bush
Mhm.
and I'd talk to the flowers and I'd make the
Yeah.
essence for the client. But I don't have time for that anymore. So I've
Yeah.
sort of moved on.
Yeah.
And so I don't work with the fairy kingdom anymore. But I do, I've never cut down my lawn. I'm nice to the flowers, the garden. I respect nature. So I moved away from that, and I had a lot of encounters with the ETs. I even wrote a book on it, which I've
Mm.
still got. I haven't published it because in the trance mediumship, I was bringing a lot of ET guides in with symbols for healing, like for
Mm.
cancer, for arthritis, for fat loss. And I've spoken at conferences with that, but I've moved away from them too because I didn't want to be known as the ET medium because people put you in boxes.
Yes, they do.
I thought, so I kind of let that go. I don't do that anymore. I don't go to conferences and talk about ETs and, because other people can do that. Doesn't really interest me. So
Mhm.
I just stuck with my subjects, the spirit rescue, the mediumship, and the psychic stuff. So I've sort of cut it back. And you can ask those guys. I've asked my I've got two ET guys. I've asked them to step back as well. But I will put symbols in people crown chakras for cancer, for example. I'll always do that. But I don't want to work with them like I was before. So you ask those guides to step back, and they will.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Right. So,
wow.
any of the spirit rescue work that you've done in terms of people who've had stuff in their homes, it's always been something earthbound then that you've
Yeah,
encountered. Okay.
yeah. I have.
Oh,
I've
she's
had.
lucky.
There's all different types of spirits, earthbound spirits, as you know.
Yeah.
There's all different types. I've had dealings with poltergeists, earthbound spirits, wandering spirits. I think the worst ones are the shadow people that are tormenting the person and making their life hell. And you usually find them. They're like black swishes on the walls, and they hide
Mhm.
under the client's bed, and they
Right.
suck all the energy up. I've done a lot of that. But as I've had other people like, I do also, I can release curses, which is just interference with the aura through spiritual healing. You just go to the white room, which is the aura, and you get them to look to the left. Is anything there? And often they'll see a shadow or something. So you just tell it to cross into the light. And that's good. I do that sort of work, and that's curses
Mhm.
as well. And there's different methods. Because
Yeah.
one of my guides was actually a witch in England called Margaret, and she stayed with me for a long time, so I've let her stay. But she's a bit of a witchy poo, so she tells me all
Mm.
her white witchy information. Because
Mhm.
how would I know that? I'm just a housewife. So you get a lot of information from your guides.
Mhm.
But
And
with
yeah,
the
no.
spirit rescue, that's it. I'm not doing demonic. Oh, this demon's been following me. I'm sorry, I don't do demonic work. You'll have to go to somebody else because that's specialized in my books.
Mhm.
Mhm. Yes, it is.
Certainly is.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
It's almost Halloween here in the States. And everybody's talking about, the dark energy and, the different ghosts. Everything is very dark, especially in New England. Do you find that
Really.
certain things get ramped up around this time of year where you're at with activity?
What I do, I surrender it to the angels. I'll light a candle and I'll say a prayer and I ask for the angels to go to that area and do their healing. I surrender all that. I get the
Mm.
angels to do all that work. I don't do it because I'm not that powerful. I'm just a medium. So I pray to the angels for help to step in. Can you please go to Israel and help the people over there in Gaza? Or can you please go to stop the war in Russia? I'll send the angels that and I'll light a candle and I'll do it through prayer.
Prayer is
Yeah.
important.
I surrender it because I just do it through prayer because I haven't got the powers to do that, but I know that that upstairs has.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's important for people to know, pay attention to the type of guides that you have around you, because that tells you a little bit about what you're here to do, some specialties, and some of the work that they want you to work on. So a lot of people are like, how do I know what I'm here to do? Well, pay attention to what being drawn to you, like what are you a magnetic force for? Pay
Mm-hmm.
attention to who you surround yourself by. Pay attention to who your guides are, and pay attention to what you feel passionate about. And that kind of gives
Mm,
you a little bit of a general idea of what you're really here to do. It's like when I opened up, I had 5 guides with me. I have like 6 now, but I had 5 guides and they all came through very clear. There was a lot of
mm,
Catholic energy kind of coming through with my guides. And I'm not Catholic. My Tom Cruise husband is Catholic, but I'm my father was Jewish, so I'm half Jewish, half Methodist, and been a spiritualist, now a metaphysical minister. So I find that I wasn't expecting to see a Catholic nun as one of my main guides. I wasn't, but then I also had a Native American guide, and then I have an Indian, a Hindu Indian as well. So I had like all these different
mm.
religions, and but they're all like masters and spiritual leaders that are coming through and being my guides. And
Yeah.
I thought, how particular is that?
Well, that's because you're a multi-dimensional being, like we all are. So of
Right?
course you're working with all different types of ideologies, religion, political. Of course you're going to bring them in. They're going to help you because you're working with all different people from different backgrounds as well.
Mm-hmm.
So that's
Right?
why they're there. They're there to help you and assist you. But one thing I want to plug today, if it's okay,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
got to work with the angels more. The angels are the most incredible force in the universe.
Yes, they
Yeah.
are.
and
They're
and bring
amazing.
them into the spirit rescue. For example, Raphael the healer. Then you've
Mm-hmm.
got Archangel Michael, and who's amazing energy. And I just say now, please, Archangel Michael, help me. Boom, comes in straight away. And Uriel brings in that amazing light into the place. The
Mm.
archangels are and Raphael and Gabriel, help you manifest the right people, the right spirit people for your team. I really believe in angelic energy. It's
Yeah.
so it's higher than anything than our guys and anything we can do as mere humans. They really do exist. And so I bring them in all my work always. And
Right.
I'm very grateful and I feel blessed that they can hear me and they answer my prayers.
Oh,
So
absolutely.
I
They
re-
can hear it. Yeah.
A
You
hundred
so
have
I
percent.
your
really
own. You have your own personal angel too. Do you ever see them? And could you
yes,
describe what they're like?
I've got a personal angel myself called Cassandra. And because I'm an Aries and I'm pretty blunt, and I've been told my whole life you got too much to say, because I just say what I think. And my angel is so beautiful, so soft. And I thought, how come you want to work with me? Because you're so soft and gentle. And I'm just a loudmouth yobbo at times. And I just started crying when I met her because she's so gentle, so nice. And I thought, how come they sent me this really nice? How come I didn't get some tough angel or something, like me? But it was this beautiful angel. It was like, oh gosh, it was so overwhelming. And she's beautiful and soft and absolutely love her when she comes around because when she comes around, you can actually smell flowers, sweet
Oh, nice.
perfumes, and you can
That's
just
lovely.
feel all cozy, like, oh, it's so nice. And it's almost like you get tears in your eyes. It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
I have a different experience with my personal angel because it is a man that comes through. He comes through with white with a gold um, vest on as well. Yosef is his name, so there was definitely a Jewish connection there. Um, but he comes through with like always a sword and a shield. I first thought he was Michael, but he said, "No, I'm Yosef. I'm your main guide." And he always comes through with this brilliant gold light whenever he comes in. I don't want to say he's warm and fuzzy because he's not, but he is
Yeah.
reassuring, very reassuring when he comes in to like I'm taken care of. There's nothing I need to worry about. He even manifested in the middle of a group when I was teaching a class and everyone was starting to go in meditation. And next thing we know,
Yeah.
we had this bright light enter the room and everybody described him perfectly. Like, who
Oh,
is
that's
this? I'm like,
beautiful. Yeah.
that's my angel. He just wanted to appear. And it was a group of 10 people.
That's
And I'm
beautiful.
like,
Yeah.
wow, it's amazing that they can do that. And so I think angels are
It's
fantastic.
Oh, angels and your guides. Do you realize we've got the best job in the world? What we do as
We
spiritualists
do.
and as energy workers, we're totally blessed. Like, welcome to my world, guys. It's never
Yeah,
dull. It's always colourful, and it's just so bloody exciting, isn't it? Really,
I tell people it's the best job in the world all the time. It really is.
it
And I
is.
know a lot of
Yeah.
people are going to have a lot of questions about you watching this show, and maybe they do have a few ghostly scenarios or something they want to reach out for. How can people reach out to you if they want to connect?
I just work on WhatsApp in the States, in America, and that all over the world. I work on WhatsApp, and people connect me that way. And it usually takes me 30 minutes to clear. I'll give them a reading, and I go through the whole house. It takes 30 minutes to do that. But I also encourage people to go locally as well. Like, you're in the States, so you should be dealing with your people over there.
I'll give a few to you. Don't worry. I'll send them your way.
'Cause, look, honestly, I don't need the work. I've got a lot of people in Australia, but I do try and refer people. Not a lot of people can, like in England, like one woman said, I've been to the spiritualist church and they couldn't help me, but I have promoted you in the States, Amy. Like, look, Amy's in America. Why don't you go to her?
Right.
Mhm.
Like, it's about passing it on, isn't it?
Right.
Seriously.
And it's
Well,
community, what we were talking about before. Even it's a sense of
Yeah,
community.
it
that's
is.
true. But also, this book's pretty good. That tells you everything. It,
Hmm.
it's a
Well,
it's like a Bible. It describes what to do, blah, blah, blah. It's not your incredible imagination. It's got lots of case studies. So it's a good book to
yes.
get. And all the books I write, because I'll get all the information there, and go locally to your local community, to the spiritualist churches who have the rescue teams, or to you, because you're the coordinator over there. I pass it
Yeah.
around. There's so much, you know, that's what I say. I'm
I
not
wish
looking for
they'd
lots
go
of
to the
work because I've already.
spiritualist churches, but they really can't go to the spiritualist churches. Not yet. I'm working on it. I'm working on it. But just Google,
Really?
and look around.
Well, see,
You know,
in Australia, we have mediums who actually do spirit rescue. I don't know them personally, but I know it does exist
oh,
because I learned it
over
when I
there.
was a kid here in Australia.
I think it's more, where mediums do it, but they don't talk about it in the spiritualist churches because they only like to speak to spirits in the light for a lot of
Oh,
those
yeah,
churches.
no, yeah. Well, it
My
doesn't
church
it doesn't
it
work like
is
that.
wonderful
But
because they've allowed me to teach rescue mediumship. They allowed me to talk about it. They've been very open to it. So
I find that
it depends.
incredible. My mind's boggling. But Doris Stokes was a rescue medium as well as a medium.
There's
You know, the
many,
famous Doris Stokes. She did a lot of rescue work, and she was an old lady. I mean, she's in the spirit world now, but I've read all the books, and she was doing spirit rescue in England.
right? I think
So
maybe
I don't.
it will come back.
Mm,
I think the
I
spiritual
wonder.
churches will bring it back. I do.
It sounds like it's an interesting, a little bit of a block for you over there, isn't it? What's it
Oh
teaching
well,
you, Amy?
resilience. It's just teach me I have more work to do. That's all.
I think it's about kicking ass and believing in your work. I mean, I find that extraordinary what you're saying. I don't have that at all. Isn't it interesting, these bloody lessons that we get all the time?
I find that the universe works in mysterious ways and everything in divine timing. And when people need to reach out and find another spirit rescue specialist, they will find them. Go online to
That's
Amazon,
true.
go online to look up and see who's doing it and feel them out. We all work differently. Like you said, the things that you do, and I do things differently as well. And so I think being able to find a good mentor, you have to resonate with them, you have to vibe with them, you have to feel like they feel right to you, because you need a good
Mm,
mentor who's going to be able to cater to your personal development, not what they
I
did, but
think
what you need
I,
as an
I think
individual.
spirit will find you anyway, because I was just overseas. I was in Paris, and this woman contacted me from England, and she said, "Help! I've got this spirit here in my house. I can't get rid of it. I've had like 20 people come. The church couldn't help me. Nobody could help me. Can you help me?" And I said, "Well, I don't want you to pay me until I've done the job." And
Great.
she said, "Sure." So my husband's there. "You're not working while we're overseas." "Of course I'm not." So he was going for a swim, and I said, "Oh, I'm just going to have a rest because I feel sick." So as soon as he went, I locked the door and I contacted her straight away because I wanted to help her. Because he's always saying, "You work too much. You work too much." And I just he's gone out now. He's always bitching about me working too much. So I helped her, and I realised she had a spirit that was actually touching her and sleeping with her sexually in the bed.
Mm.
And when I went into the bedroom, the spirit was still there. I couldn't find it. And I said, "I can't find the spirit." And I said, "Hop on your bed." And then I saw the spirit in the bed, not under the bed, in the bed. So
Mm-hmm.
then I was able to rescue it. But she was so traumatized by the whole experience, and all these fakies coming over that weren't who they said they were and paying all the money. So in
Mm-hmm.
the end, I just said, "Look, I'm so sorry. You don't owe me anything. You'll be okay now." And she just thanked me I didn't charge her, because I was
Right.
embarrassed that all these people had come and she was paying thousands of pounds for idiots to come and do nothing. It was
Mm-hmm.
embarrassing and giving
Wow.
us a bad reputation, you know?
Yeah,
So I
they
didn't
Yeah.
do.
charge her, but I was able to, and she contacted me. We're on the same time zone, because I was in Paris, she was in London. And
Oh,
when the husband went for a swim, I quickly did it. And then I contacted her and it was fine. But it was interesting, wasn't it? And I didn't care about the money. I just thought, well, I saved her, and I know the spirit looks after me and probably get good karma out of this. And what happened was I actually got a job on radio not long after. So I thought, oh, that's spirit thanking me for helping this girl or whatever. Not that I expected anything. So I
no.
got an opportunity to do that. And also I got a club show back. Some other mediums took over, and I thought, interesting. Spirit's working overtime to thank me for the freebie, so to speak.
Yeah.
But I was so embarrassed that all these so-called experts had gone there and did absolutely nothing, saying that they did our work, Amy. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think unless they have a rescue team in the spirit world, like you were saying, and are being
Yeah.
told by spirit, you need to do this work, this is what you're here to do, and specialize in, I think maybe just leave it for the rescue mediums to do, so we make sure that we get the work done, like you're saying. It
So are
is
you doing,
specialized.
as the specialist, where you're coming from, the teacher and the specialist, are you doing online work for people in the world, you guys? Because you
I
all work
do.
together, don't you? Oh, that's
We
good. Well, you've
we
got
Yeah.
do.
your Well, that's what
We're
you need to do, because from what I've seen, there's people out there who don't know what they're doing.
No. But
No.
my
Yes.
guides told me a long time ago that I was meant to teach this work. I was meant to do it for a certain amount of time, but then because I hear spirit so clearly from the spirit world and masters and teachers, they're like, we're going to give you a lot of the information to pass this on to those who want to do rescue mediumship. So they kept pushing that, saying, you're going to be the teacher, you're going to be the teacher. So I teach more now than I work. I did a list of all the classes I'm doing next year, and I'm teaching
Good.
3 days a week, every week for 12 months straight, as well as my online school for spirit rescue. So teaching is
I
kind of my
feel
thing.
that with you, I feel your online school is very important worldwide. Online,
Mm-hmm.
you need to do more online stuff, and you've got your team of people that help you too, like you're all working together. Get the online work out there is what I get.
Yes, it's all online now, but then I can do a lot of videos. People just want to talk to me and ask questions, which is fine. I'm always here to kind of
Also,
mentor and help people.
you should be doing documentaries as well, so maybe start ringing up some producers.
Yeah, I've been told about that, so we'll see what
You
happens.
just got. I've worked with a few producers. You just got to find the right ones. I've worked in radio and not so much TV, but you can do the documentaries. And Netflix would be great to have a documentary
I
on
think so.
what you do.
Yeah.
I certainly
So
have a
I'd
lot
be
of
looking at media, looking at visual
Well,
like
just
Netflix
manifest it
or.
for me, Kerrie.
Sorry,
Let's just
sorry.
manifest it. We need that information out into the world for sure.
Just put it out there and ask Gabrielle to help you. Just manifest it. I've set up an energy grid and just put it out there, and it'll work if that's what you want to do. Because people need it, and
Yeah.
spirit will find a way. They'll break through.
Yes, they will. They will. I can't thank you enough for coming on the show. You've been amazing. This has been a lot of fun. I've been really enjoying this because
Well,
it's like
thank you for having me.
you guys, you and I speak the same language, which I love. I always love having other rescue mediums on the show
Yeah.
because it's like again community. We're a team. We're all here to support each other with it, and I'll always see you as one of my teammates. So I'm so grateful to have you on. So thank you again for joining us tonight.
Talk
And
to
thank
some
you.
producers and try and get the media stuff, Amy. That's what I get for you.
Yes, ma'am. I will get right on it.
You're still young. You've still got the face. Go for it.
I'm getting older every year. But so thank you so much, and thank you for all of you to tune in and to watch the interview. And again, I'm going to post Kerrie's contact information that if you'd like to contact her, and we'd love to talk more about Spirit Rescue. If you'd like to be a guest on the show, please reach out to us. And Cynthia, you want to give everyone a way to reach out and say hello?
Yeah.
I just want to
Email
say.
us. Yes. Go ahead,
I've just
Kerrie.
got to say one thing before I wave goodbye. Hey, they've got all those TV programs about, Ghostbusters. Oh yeah, there's a ghost here and there's this and that. Why don't you get the Spirit Rescue team? We'll call it Spirit Rescue and Beyond.
I
You know how you've
love
got
it.
yeah, why not? Because they're always doing documentaries on, oh yeah, there's a ghost over here. Come up on my machine. Okay, there's something over there. I can smell it. Get the Spirit Rescue team in and go to houses and actually get rid of the ghost. That's what
You're
we need.
so passionate and encouraging. It's like, how can you say
Well,
no?
it's true. You got to do it.
Can't
Go
say
do
no.
it. Okay.
I can't say no.
And why don't you give us our thoughts and email us at spiritrescuetalk@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you. What do you think about Kerrie's idea? Email us.
And if you know any producers out there, guys, you got to help these guys. They're real Spirit Rescue team.
There you go. We're ready, and what is it? What did the Ghostbusters say? We're ready to believe you.
Yes. All
Everybody
action
have
go.
a great night. Thank you, Kerrie, so much, and we'll all see you next time.